Okay guys, now you need real strength. Internal energy to be happy, to smile with me and all that, okay? We've got multiple choice and there are 10 multiple choice questions in part 3. Now those who are afraid of multiple choice, for them this test can be very difficult, right? So let's see. 10 questions means we have 10 opportunities to understand. So I'll explain each and everything. You have to be with me, try to focus, try to understand. And in multiple choice questions, instead of looking for the right answer, it's a good idea to eliminate the wrong answers. Once you learn or once successfully you eliminate wrong answers, you will be left with the right answer. So initially they'll give you time to read questions 21 to 25. Almost half minute, then questions 26 to 30, and it goes on like this, okay? When the audio is going on, just focus the options, and if you find an option which is wrong, don't forget to cross that option. Sometimes if you cross 2 wrong options, you'll be left with the right answer. So anyways, section 3, choose the correct letter. Study on gender in physics. What's the title? Study. Study means research on gender. On gender means on male or female in physics. Now they did a research on male and female students on in physics subject. Got it? Now they just wanted to see whether in physics subject females are performing well, males are performing well and all that. So there is a study on gender in physics. That's it. Okay, question number 21. Students in Akira Miyake's study were all majoring in. Now, students in study means the students which they chose as a subject of their study, those students were studying a major subject. They were all studying one major subject, and that major subject will be your answer. Now, what cannot be the answer? Any minor subject they were studying, any optional subject they were studying, any subject some of them were studying. For example, they say some of them were majoring in physics. Will that be the answer? No. If they say all of them were majoring in physics, that will be the answer. So what are the options? A, physics. B, psychology or physics. C, science, technology, engineering or mathematics. Just focus. They were all majoring in, or they were all studying dash as their major subject. Okay, let's see. And by the way, these options are not in order. In the audio, they will not discuss option A first, then B, then C. It can be in any order. So let's start.
Okay, Greg. So I finally managed to read the article you mentioned. The one about the study on gender in physics.
About the study of college students done by Akira Miyake and his team. Yeah, I was interested that the researchers were actually a mix of psychologists and physicists. That's an unusual combination.
Yeah, I got a little confused at first about which students the study was based on. They weren't actually majoring in physics, they were majoring in what's known as the STEM disciplines. That's science, technology, engineering and
math. Yes, but they were all doing physics courses as part of their studies.
That's correct.
So, no. B, well done. A, well done. A, come on, raise your hand. A, good job. Clapping karte hain. B, good. Correct answer is C. Alright? I'm gonna prove it to you. मैं घर से पढ़ के आया हूँ. Okay, I'm gonna play the audio again and I'm gonna prove it to you why not the other one. This is the confusion. You know what happened? Some of you heard physics even in the end. They said physics is the right answer. Some of you psychology or physics. How many of you, honestly, how many of you selected B as the right answer? Shame on you. Just joking. You know, psychology and physics, the researchers were from these two subjects. I mean, these were not the subjects of students. They were the subjects of researchers. Honestly, no problem, okay? How many of you selected A as the right answer? Same thing for you, okay? Now, let's see.
Okay, Greg.
Listen now.
So I find...
Okay, do one thing. Listen to the audio and look at me. Don't look at the options. मैं बताता हूँ कहाँ पे क्या आएगा. एक code लिखें, BAC. इसी के आगे लिख लें BAC. Okay, now audio goes like BAC.
Really managed to read the article you mentioned, the one about the study on gender in physics.
About the study of college students done by Akira Miyake and his team. Yeah, I was interested that the researchers were actually a mix of psychologists and physicists.
Researchers were a mix of psychologists and physicists. Researchers, not students. Our question is the students. So P should be crossed. Now we are left with A and C. Now they are going to discuss A.
That's an unusual combination.
Yeah. I got a little confused at first about which students the study was based on. They weren't actually majoring in physics.
They weren't actually majoring in physics. They won't means will not. They weren't actually majoring in physics. So those who understood what as want, that's the right answer. They weren't actually majoring in physics. A is the right answer and मैं बाहर जाऊंगा. Okay? So this is not the right one. Now listen.
They were majoring in what's known as the STEM disciplines.
They were majoring in what's known as STEM disciplines. STEM means science, technology, engineering or mathematics. And at the end even they confuse you. Let's see.
That's science, technology, engineering and
math. Yes, but they were all doing physics courses as part of their studies.
They were all
That's correct.
doing physics courses as part of their studies. So they were not majoring. They were doing physics courses as part of their studies, but they were not majoring in physics. Got it? So this is how it works. Let's go on. चलें बाकी घर से कर लीजिएगा. Question number 22. Aim of Miyake's study was to investigate. Underline aim. Now, they may tell us about the aim of her study. And they may talk about two options as they were not the scope. Aim or scope, they are the same things. What was the aim? Option A, kind of women choose to study physics. Kind of women study physics. Okay, so if their aim was to identify the kind of women who study physics, A is the right answer. B, way of improving women's performance in physics. So just simply women's performance in physics. If the aim was to improve women's performance in physics, then option B. If the aim was to find kind of women who study physics, then it is A. And whether fewer women than men study physics. Fewer women means less women, more men study physics. So what was the aim of their study? Okay, let's focus.
So, as I understood it, Miyake and co. started from the fact that women are underrepresented in introductory physics courses at college, and also that on average, the women who do enroll on these courses perform more poorly than the men. No one really knows why this is the case.
Yeah, but what the researchers wanted to find out was basically what they could do about the relatively low level of the women's results. But in order to find a solution, they needed to find out more about the nature of the problem.
Right.
It's A. It's C. What the researchers wanted to find out. What the researchers wanted to find out means aim of study. I play it again. What the researchers wanted to find out.
So, as I understood it, Miyake and co. started from the fact that women are underrepresented.
Now that is option C. Women are underrepresented means fewer women than men. But that's not the main aim of study. Yeah.
In introductory physics courses at college. And also that on average, the women who do enroll on these courses perform more poorly than the men. No one really knows why this is the case.
No one really knows why this is the case now.
Yeah, but what the researchers wanted to find out was basically what they could do about the relatively low level of the women's results.
What they could do about relatively low level of women's result. A women's result is women's performance. Okay, so option B is the right answer. Don't worry, we have 10 questions, 8 more to go. You'll be fine, don't worry. Just focus what to do and have have a smiling face. Question number 23. Female physics students were wrong to believe. Listen, in option A, B, C, they have given us 3 beliefs. Out of 3 beliefs, one belief where female students were wrong. Like they believed something and their belief was wrong. Where their belief was right. For example, if I say I believe he's looking at my nail polish. And I ask him and say, yes, I'm observing your nail polish. It means that my belief is right. If I say, well, he's looking at my nail polish, and I ask and say, I'm looking at your lipstick, for example. So that is what? Wrong belief. Now, what's the question? Female physics students were wrong to believe. They believed something, but their belief was wrong. What are the beliefs? Teachers marked them in an unfair way. Sir ne hame number kam diye. You know, teachers marked them in an unfair way. Sometimes they say, ladkon ko numbers zyada dete, ladkiyon ko kam dete hain. Right? B. Male students expected them to do badly. Male students already knew कि लड़कियों का A grade आना ही नहीं है physics में. For example, male students expected them to do badly. And C. Test results were lower than male students. Right? Their test results were lower. Now they believed something and they were wrong. And for wrong, they'll say they were wrong. No one was making any assumption about them. Or they had this wrong belief because no one noticed this thing about them. Something like that. Now just listen and see the wrong belief.
Now let's see if I can remember. It was that in the physics class, the female students thought the male students all assumed that women weren't any good at physics. Was that it? And they thought that the men expected them to get poor results in their tests.
That's what the women thought, and that made them nervous, so they did get poor results. But actually, they were wrong. No one was making any assumptions about the female students at all.
All right. How many of you say A? No problem. How many of you say B? How many of you say C? Correct answer is B. Male students expected them to do badly. Listen now.
Now, let's see if I can remember. It was that in the physics class, the female students thought the male students all assumed that women weren't any good at physics.
Okay, they assumed the women weren't good at physics. That is, male students expected them to do badly. Now listen.
Was that it? And they thought that the men expected them to get poor results in their...
They thought that men expected them to get poor results. They means women. Women thought. And now?
Tests.
That's what the women thought, and that made them nervous. So they did get poor results. But actually, they were wrong. No one was making any assumptions about the female students at all.
Okay, no one was making any assumptions about female students at all. So that means female physics students were wrong to believe that male students expected them to do badly. B is the right answer. Okay, let's go on. Question number 24. Miyake's team asked the students to write about something. Now write about what? Okay, option A. What they enjoyed about studying physics. So physics is understood, just focus what they enjoyed. If they ask the students to write about what they enjoyed, option B, successful experience of other people. Successful experiences of other people. Now write about. They asked them to write an essay or they asked them to write a paragraph about this. C, something that was important to them personally. Now as I told you, personally. For personal, they can use private. For personal, they can use family. Personal photo, family photo, private photo, anything like that. Now let's see.
Anyway, what Miyake's team did was quite simple. Getting the students to do some writing before they went into the physics class. What did they call it?
Values affirmation. They had to write an essay focusing on things that were significant to them, not particularly to do with the subject they were studying, but more general things like music or people who mattered to them.
Right.
More general things like music and people who matter to them. What is that? C. Music and people who matter to them means something that was important to them personally. Now for personally, they used music, people who matter to them. That is what we call personal. Okay. Let's go on. Question number 25. Now this is a tricky question. What was the aim of writing exercise done by the subjects? Now writing exercise is the subject here, and subjects mean people who participated. If I do an experiment on you, you are the subject of my experiment. So what was the aim of writing exercise done by subjects? What was the aim of writing exercise? They asked them to write something. What was the aim of that? A, reduce stress. Now listen, stress. What does it mean? Reduce stress. Anxiety. Reduce anxiety, reduce stress and all that. But if I say, I stress you to work hard, what does it mean? I stress you to improve your English. I stress you to come regularly. It means I'm forcing you or I'm stressing you. So this is the second meaning of stress, and you should be careful about it. I'm telling you this on purpose. B, strengthen verbal ability. So the writing exercise, aim of writing exercise was strengthen verbal ability. What is verbal ability? Communication skill, presentation skill, and all that. Okay. And option C, encourage logical thinking. Now let's see what was the aim of writing exercise.
So the idea of doing the writing is that this gets the students thinking in a positive way.
And putting these thoughts into words can relax them and help them overcome the psychological factors that lead to poor performance. Yeah.
So, A. Why A? Reduce stress. And what is the word for that?
So the idea of doing the writing is that this gets the students thinking in a positive way.
And putting these thoughts into words can relax them.
Putting these thoughts into words can relax them. Relax means reduce stress. Now understand this language. Reduce stress means relax. So when you reduce your stress, you feel relaxed. For 25, A is the right answer.